Hello, everybody. My name is Stephen Posey. I am with Group 6, Greece, and this is part 3 of our presentation. So, some of the objectives I will be going over in my presentation today will be low versus high context language, uncertainty avoidance, power distance, and the worst time of year to travel to Greece. So, beginning with low versus high context language, Greece is actually regarded as a high context culture, as you can see by the chart up at the top right here. This is Greece right here. It's leaning more towards the higher side for context cultures. This means that much of the communication is understood by either nonverbal coding, which refers to common body language, so they actually don't need to say words to each other to understand what someone's meaning. They can just rely on body language and the way someone's acting to tell what they mean. They also believe in distinct in-groups and out-groups, which refers to the cohesiveness of each group, um, how well people work with each other or how well people don't work with each other. Um, they also use covert and implicit messaging, which refers to reading between the lines, so they don't always have to say exactly what they mean for someone to understand what they're trying to get at. This image down here shows the difference between low context and high context. Low context meaning just straight verbal communication is what gets the job done, and high context meaning body language. As you can see here, the man bowing and the man tipping his hat, signs of respect. Moving on to uncertainty avoidance. Greece is actually a 100 on Hofstede scale, which is the highest that it could be. This means that Greeks are extremely uncomfortable in ambiguous situations, meaning that if they don't have all the necessary information for a situation, then they will not continue or move forward until they get all that necessary information that they feel they need to be able to move forward. As for most high uncertainty avoidance cultures, bureaucracy, laws, and rules are extremely important for citizens to feel safe in their everyday life. In Greece, relaxation is also required in everyday life, whether that be chatting with colleagues, um, enjoying a long lunch, even dancing with guests and friends. They also rely on a stable and predictable workplace. So if they come into work one day and something's going on that's not how it normally is, it will feel very uncomfortable and it will be hard for them to get work done. Now on to power distance. Greece is actually a 60 on Hofstede scale, which is more of an intermediate score, but still leaning more towards the higher side, more towards the right side. Um, in Greece, it is believed that hierarchy should be respected and that actually inequalities are accepted between one person or another. Um, it's also believed that power holders have more benefits than those who hold less power, and elderly are to be shown respect. So in most cases, it's typical for children to end up taking care of their parents once they grow old and can no longer take care of themselves. And typically, there is only one boss who will take complete responsibility of the company. So if there's any sort of issue, that boss will take care of it by themselves. And as for the worst time to travel to Greece, August is regarded as the worst month to visit. This is because most Greeks plan their vacation during the month of August. Um, so a lot of the time during August, a lot of businesses will be closed because a lot of the owners will be on vacation. They will be out of town, this, that, or the other. The country is normally pretty packed and busy, so it's hard to do a lot of stuff during the month of August. And generally, prices will be extremely expensive during that month because companies are trying to make up for lost revenue uh, throughout that month. And these are my sources. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great day.